guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you a tour of my vanity, and I know I always show you guys my makeup collection and my makeup drawers constantly in my everyday makeup drawer videos, but I actually just reorganized like almost all of my makeup since I filmed my last video, so now it actually is organized. You guys always see it as basically like a complete mess, but I organized everything and I needed to document it in this video. But I also mainly want to focus on what's on top of my vanity, like my vanity decor, and just give you guys some tips. And then also my glam box behind me, because that's where I store like all of my most used makeup products and everything that I've been using like the most all like this past summer. And then just a couple more things I have to show you guys in my beauty room. So if you guys want to see like some makeup storage tips, my most used products, and my makeup collection, then just keep on watching. Alright, so here is the overall look of my vanity. I'm mainly going to focus on the glam box. I want to go through all the products I have, and that's probably going to be the whole video because it's a lot and I want to get into detail on a lot of my favorite products. And then I just want to run down like a couple other things that I have on my vanity. Both of these fake flowers I got recently at HomeGoods. They're like around $15, $20. I can actually tell you. This one, yeah, it was $20. Damn, that was expensive. And I think this one was probably like $30, but I think it looks really pretty. And then in this bowl, I have all my beauty blenders, Real Technique sponge, L'Oreal sponge, and an e.l.f. sponge back here. This little black one is from e.l.f. So those are all of my current sponges. I got that bowl at HomeGoods as well. This candle, I actually love this. This is from my FabFitFun box a couple months ago. This is the brand Anderson Lily. Really, really pretty candle. And then I actually love this little phone stand. I will link it below. It's from Amazon. It's like $10. It's rose gold and it has it in black and probably one other color, but I love it to just watch Insta stories or watch YouTube or something and then just like sit on my laptop and work. And then this is my favorite fall candle. This is Leaves from Bath & Body Works. It just smells like fall, but it's not too strong or heavy. It smells very clean. It actually reminds me of New England, which is where I'm from. So this is probably my favorite for fall from Bath & Body Works, and also flannel. I just did like a whole candle haul like yesterday, and this is one of the candles I got. I actually got two of these because this one is my favorite. And then all of my lipsticks, I went through this in my recent lip declutter and storage video. But basically I just keep a bunch of extra lipsticks that I'm gonna pass on to my mom and my aunt and friends if they want them down here. And then this is like my entire current lipstick collection. Some ColourPop, Urban Decay, CoverGirl, Charlotte Tilbury. I just got this new lip product from Revlon. It's like a little lip cushion. And then in the back I have some lipsticks from Too Faced, MAC, and ColourPop, some random lip products in there. I will link my lipstick storage and declutter video in case you guys want to go through everything in my collection. I let you know about like all the formulas and stuff. And then these are all of my lip glosses. Not all of them, but they're all my like lip toppers. So I have all of the 6 from Kevyn Aucoin, one from Buxom. I really like this Katy Kat gloss from CoverGirl, some Beauty by Pop Sugar, and then some lip glosses from e.l.f. Those are my favorite from the drugstore. And then over here we have my glam box, which is the Glam Box Petite. I will link it below. It is pricey. I think it's $200, but it just made a world of difference for my makeup storage and just like day-to-day getting my products out, because I keep like my most used makeup in here. I have like some brand new products I'm testing out in here, and then my like holy grail products that I'm gonna go through. And then I'll just show you guys like all of the drawers in my makeup collection. You see them pretty frequently in my everyday makeup drawer videos, but I did reorganize them a bit. This is where I keep my mascaras, eyeliners, single shadows back here, extra brow products, a ton of extra brow products. I just got sent some new products from ColourPop that I'm testing out, and then just like some random glitter glue. Yeah, basically like eyeliners, mascaras, cream eyeshadows that I actually use quite often. And then here I have blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and kind of like liquid highlighters and cream products. I'm actually gonna declutter this. I think in the next week I'll do a declutter video on this drawer and my face palettes because I wanna cut this down to like half of what I have right now. In here I have my foundation drawer. This is so much nicer than the last time you guys saw it. I reorganized everything. I have some primers here, the rest of my primers here. powders. All of my foundations, well, almost all of them are standing right here. I have some random powders and oils back there. The rest of my foundations, some like liquid drops and concealers are right here. All my loose powders. So really happy with how I organized that. And then here are all my most used eyeshadow palettes. I can basically just live with these and probably get rid of like 90% of what's in here, which is like my backup or my extra eyeshadow palette drawer. I mean, I love this palette, but there's a lot in here. Like, I know I'm gonna declutter the Back Talk palette. I'm gonna do a huge eyeshadow declutter for sure this fall. I probably can get rid of like 20 palettes or so. Over here I have my everyday makeup drawer that you guys see in my monthly videos, where I just store a bunch of my products that I'm testing out for the month, or just products that I am picking out for my collection to use for the month. I like having it here because it's like super easy to access. It's like the first thing that I go to. And then here I have my face palettes. Decluttering this in the next week. I want to get rid of like 10 of them. So I'm gonna be doing a declutter and donation video in the next week or so. This is like the most random, I don't even know what this is. This is where I keep my lashes, lip balm, tweezers, and just like makeup wipes. Basically just kind of like a lash and random stuff drawer. I need to figure out like a better situation for that. Here's extra hair products. I actually want to clear this out. It's just like extra hair tools and stuff, and move some of the products to my bathroom so that I can use this big drawer and store like PR packages into there that I get to throughout the month, and that way like everything's just like all in one place. So that's the overall layout of my vanity and all of my drawers. I have some artwork from like TJ Maxx up there that was like $10, $12 for these like chandelier frames. But that's kind of everything in all of my drawers. Let's go ahead and get into my glam box. All right, so on top I keep my little mug that has all of my current favorite lip products. I have like my Lancome gloss, this new one from Buxom that I used in my last tutorial that I love. These Baba Plump shiny liquid lipsticks, some Bare Minerals Gen Nude glosses. I have 2 of them. I went through all of this in my lip storage video, but basically like my Makeup Forever 103, yes, 103 and 101 I always keep in here. My Persona Cosmetics liquid lipsticks, love these. Both of them are awesome. OG is like one of my favorite nudes like ever. I just got this new gloss from Benefit. I think they just released these, or these are kind of newer Punch Pop glosses. And then I have my Bite Beauty gloss in Flat White that I really like. And then also Jouer blush, which is another one of my favorite liquid lipsticks. But basically like all of my go-to nude products that I talk about all the time, and like favorite glosses. And then here I have like a lot of my setting sprays. I have some face brushes back here, but these are kind of like my extra face brushes, like the ones that I really like but don't necessarily use every day. So this is just kind of like extra brushes. And then I have setting sprays and some facial oils, like this one from Wander Beauty. They just sent this out. I haven't actually used it yet. It's called the Glow Ahead Face Oil. I like that it comes in a squeezy tube, but I haven't actually used it yet. But I think if I end up liking it, it's like a convenient packaging. And then this one that I use sometimes from Kevyn Aucoin. I actually keep this up here because I broke the bottle somehow and I don't want it to like leak in my foundation drawer, but it's just like a beauty oil that I like to mix into foundations, especially for like winter. And then I have the Glow Mist from Pixi, which I absolutely love for spraying it onto my beauty blender and just helping my foundation just look less cakey, a little bit more luminous. MAC Fix Plus, I always get the coconut one because if it has an option for coconut, I take it. Like, I love all things coconut. This is like my 20th bottle or something. I absolutely love MAC Fix Plus. I use it every single day for my eyeshadows, and I use it to set my face as well. And then these are some of my favorite affordable setting sprays. The Hydrating Dewy Spray from Flower Beauty. This stuff is awesome. The mist on this is like one of the best in my collection, and just leaves your makeup very like natural looking. I love the Beauty Shield spray from e.l.f. I think I'm almost done with this one. I actually have a backup of this, the Daily Defense Makeup Mist. It is awesome as well. It's like a nice actual primer spray too. It's very hydrating and glowy. I usually keep my Morphe setting spray up here too, but I think I just tossed that in one of my tote bags yesterday and I haven't moved it back. But usually the Morphe spray is what I also love to use too. I have all of the Smashbox primer widers, the one collaboration with Nicole Concilio. These I'm not using as often as like my actual like drugstore sprays because they just kind of get lost back there, but I really love these primer waters from Smashbox. I have the one from the Vlada collab, the primer spray. I don't really use this, it's a little too glowy. Another one I like from the drugstore is this primer water from Wet n Wild. This came out during the spring. I actually think it might be a finishing spray, but I like to use it as a primer spray. Or you can use it for both. And then also I love the Too Faced Hangover X, especially under my makeup. And then if my makeup looks way too matte, I'll just do like 2 sprays of this and it looks perfect afterwards. But it's incredibly hydrating if you have dry skin. So definitely check that out if you have dry skin. If you don't have dry skin, don't use it because it's too hydrating. But those are kind of like my most used setting sprays. And then in this first drawer, I have all of my favorite bronzers, highlighters, contour products, everything like that. Okay, so this is my Chanel Tan de Soleil. I actually just moved this up here recently because I don't use it enough and I need to start using it more. Or I'll remember to think about it after I set my foundation with powder. So that's why I never really use cream products, because I totally forget about that step until it's like too late into my makeup routine. But I just need to start using this more for sure. Sweetie Pie from Too Faced. This is a bronzer. I use it as a blush and it's like one of my top 5 favorite blush products of all time. It has this like peachy scent to it, which is so pretty. And then I just swirl everything together and it's like this bronzery peach blush look and it's gorgeous. It goes with everything. And then my favorite contour kit is actually the Smashbox Cali Contour Kit. I've been talking about this a lot, so I'm sure you guys know this already. I feel like I talk about it more than I realize. It's super, super powdery, but like you could already see I have kind of a dent in the bronzer and the contour shades. And I just love it. I mix like all of this together. You can mix the highlighters when it's not covered in bronzer. I will mix the highlighters in with a little bit of the bronzer for more of a shimmery effect. I'll mix in the highlighters with a blush for like a glowy blush. The highlighters on their own is very subtle, so I like to mix it with everything else. And then I like this as like to set my eyeshadow or under my eyes too. So definitely love this contour kit. It's a mess just because the formula is so powdery, but it goes on so smooth. And then we have my Marc Jacobs bronzer. I'm not using it as much because it's like underneath like other products lately, but this is the coconut bronzer from Marc Jacobs. I really, really love this bronzer. It is huge. It's enough to like bronze a whole city. It is a lot of bronzer that you get in this, so I really love it. I actually wish that they would make this in like a mini form. That way you don't have like a huge bronzer pan and don't have to pay like I think it's like $53, but whatever. I just really, really love it. I have had this for over a year and I never ever regretted buying it. It's like probably the priciest bronzer I have in my collection, but totally worth it. It has really big mirror too. It basically is like a little laptop. Like really, really cute bronzer. Also I love both of these. So I talk about both of these a lot. They're actually both my like most used bronzers. This is Sweet Tea from Too Faced. I'm trying to hit pan on this. I actually kind of did. And I just need to finish it up. I'm trying to finish it up maybe by the end of the year because I actually use it so often. So really like that if you like a glowy bronzer that's a little bit more light, like if you have a fair to light complexion, that's really pretty. And then if you have more of a medium complexion, this is really gorgeous as well. This is Chocolate Gold from Too Faced. You can see I use this one so often. It's a lot deeper compared to Sweet Tea, so especially for summer I loved this. But if I want something super subtle, I'll wear this, but I'll still need to use another contour product because this on its own like is super light on me. So really love both of those. I just love shimmery bronzers. They make me so happy. And then this is the Adore Blush Duo from Jouer. Really love both of these shades. I mix them together. I wear them separately. Really recommend their powder products. I also really like their bronzer duo as well. Gold Rush from Benefit. This is a little mini. I love this blush. This was one of my favorites for summer. It's like Coralista, but almost like more gold and less peachy. It's more of like a bronzery kind of tone too. Really, really like this shade. It's super, super pretty. It smells amazing as well. Then the two highlighters I use the most are Amrezy Anastasia. I really wish they still made this. Like, I'm bitter about that. I own it, but I'm bitter that it's not sold anymore because I feel like I don't want to use it in tutorials because it's not available. But I wear this still all the time. It's a gorgeous like brow bone highlight. So pretty. And just like overall highlight. Like, it's a gorgeous highlighter. It's like one of my favorites I've ever had in my life, and I don't know why they don't make it anymore. They needed to make that one permanent. And then you guys know Zuma from Persona Cosmetics. It's hard for me to use anything other than these two highlighters because like this shade and this formula, like if you have not tried it out, like I could get rid of basically all of my highlighters and keep both of these and I'm set for life because that's really all I've been using for the last 6 months. Honestly, I have to like force myself to use like some other products because I love these. I do use one more thing, not as often as the powder ones, but I use this a lot. Champagne from Physicians Formula. I'm not going to open it because you guys can see it's a disaster in there, but this is the butter highlighter in the shade Champagne. Really love this. I actually love to use this as eyeshadow too. Really recommend these because they go on like very creamy and then they dry on your face and they don't look like greasy or anything, and they go well on top of powder products. So I'm definitely not a liquid highlighter person, and I'm usually not a cream highlighter person, but this is the exception because the formula is just that good to me. And then I already talked about these. You guys know, like, you see me wear this combination all the time. Wet n Wild Hummingbird Hype Baked Blush and Burt's Bees Blush and Cinnamon, Toasted Cinnamon. Amazing. It just makes me happy thinking about putting that on my face. Like, those are products that I just absolutely love and get a lot of wear out of. These are like the absolute must-have products in my collection for contour, bronzer, and blush. Next, getting into my most used foundations, powders, and concealers. I forgot the word concealer for a second, but here are some of my favorite primers. I actually don't have very many in here. The Origin Skin Primer, I feel like this is so completely underrated. I suffer from like very serious, okay, it's not that serious actually, like it's just annoying, allergies is my point. I have really bad allergies, seasonal allergies, and my face just gets really swollen and puffy and uncomfortable. Like I have that going on right now as we get into fall. And this has been my saving grace because, like, especially during the spring, my sinuses were awful. Because this is a cooling primer, that is the reason why it feels so helpful and refreshing on my skin. I feel like I got really out of the way to try to make my point, but this comes out very, very cold. It's so refreshing. It's super, super hydrating, and it has like a citrusy scent, so it's something that really like wakes you up in the morning, and I just love the feeling of it. It's very hydrating, and it actually like blurs out your pores a little bit, so I feel like this is super underrated. Really, really just amazing product, and it makes me happy every time that I use it, and especially if you suffer from allergies and need a makeup product that helps you with that, this is the one. Another thing that actually does help with my seasonal allergies right now and my puffy eyes, the Kona Eye Stick from First Aid Beauty. This is like a cooling eye stick, and sometimes there's products that claim that they're cooling and it's just kind of like super subtle, but this is actually cooling and it helps like depuff under my eyes, and it also works as like an under eye concealer primer. I use this more as like something to just help depuff my eyes than use it for the benefits of priming my under eyes, but I have been really enjoying this because yeah, it does actually help depuff under my eyes and like keep my under eyes hydrated. And then this is also one of my go-to primers for the last several months. This is the Skin Smoothing Primer from CoverGirl. It does do a good job to smooth out your pores. It's slightly hydrating. It's actually like a really nice dupe to the Hourglass and Mineral Veil if you're familiar with that and you want like a cheaper alternative. This one's a really great one. I like to use it when I just like to use it in general. I actually really like to use it in combination with my Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Like I'll use a little bit of this and then cover my face in this because I love this stuff so much. I talk about this all the time. I also use this as a primer, and using it in combination with the Hello Happy foundation from Benefit because this is light coverage, and that way the luminosity from this still shows through, but it still gives me enough coverage to look like my face is very even and my skin is like looking clear. So I really love this combination together. This is a very light foundation if you want like that more no makeup look, but still enough coverage to be more than just like a subtle BB cream or something. Definitely check this out. Super, super lightweight as well. And then I have a powder from Galactic. This is the one in Fair. It's a little light for me, but this is a luminous face powder. It's a pressed luminous powder. Really, really creamy finish. I just really, really love this powder. I love to use it under my eyes as well. Then I have my Benefit Boy In Concealer that I like to use to color correct under my eyes. I actually haven't been using this as much lately because I've had so many full coverage concealers that I've been enjoying. And then my Too Faced setting powder, I go between this one and my Cover FX one, and then also my Laura Mercier translucent glow powder that I keep raving about. Like these two, this one I use under my eyes. I'll use it for my whole face too, but I actually love using this for my whole face. It's just like a really nice like blurring finishing powder. It looks super pretty. And then for foundations, Cover FX Power Play is one of my favorites. Right now, Too Faced Born This Way is like my holy grail. And also I love the Dewy foundation, or the Dew You foundation. This is a little bit more natural looking compared to this, but for like a flawless, like very porcelain kind of looking finish, like very flawless, pores are blurred, this is my go-to right now. Like I'm really, really into it. And then what else do I have for foundation? I have my Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is like a really, really nice matte foundation that doesn't feel drying, and it's really, really nice coverage. I just need to get like one of those pumps for this foundation. I think you can get them at MAC. Let me know if you guys have like a better option to get like a cheap pump for this specific foundation. And then what else do I have here? Those are basically all my go-to foundations right now. I switch this out occasionally, but that's just what I've been using on like a day-to-day basis. And then I have my Burt's Bees mattifying powder foundation. I obviously love this. I love to use this to set my under eyes and just add a little extra coverage to my face. It looks all gross right here because I'll take my damp beauty blender, press it into here, and then just touch up my makeup throughout the day by doing that. Ton of concealers because there's just a bunch of concealers that just released and I'm going to be testing out for you guys. One of them will probably be my next video, which is the Jouer concealer. This just released, or it is actually releasing in the next week or so. And I have all the shades to swatch and everything. If you guys want to see that, that might be coming up this week. I love this concealer. I think this is very underrated. This is from Bare Minerals. It's their Bare Pro Concealer. This is what I wear on no makeup days. Like I don't even bother with foundation or anything. I'll just wear this, lip gloss, and mascara. I really love this because you don't even need to set it. It's very full coverage and it's hydrating. It doesn't look cakey under your eyes or on your face or anything. So I love using this. I'll take this on the go with me, like put it in my purse, or if I'm traveling in a plane, like I will just bring this into mascara with me and I'll feel like very refreshed with very minimal products. Love the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. It's a really nice full coverage concealer. I wear the shade number 22. Really love the Hello Fab concealer. One of my favorites right now too. This one's more lightweight, but it gives you a nice like medium to full coverage. Same with the Laura Mercier. Both of those products are very similar. This one and the First Aid Beauty Concealer. And this is called the Flawless Fusion Concealer. So medium to full coverage, very, very hydrating. And then this one actually also just released from Cover FX. I've only tried this out once so far. This is their Power Play Concealer. I'm in this shade G Medium 1. This has like an interesting applicator. It's like very weird. It's like a little ball tip. So need to play with this more because I've only worn this like once just to like try it out. So I need to test this after I'm finished with my review for the Jouer concealer in the next couple days. And then also I'm testing out the Stellar Beauty concealer that's also available at Sephora. Love the foundation, so I'm just playing with the concealer a little bit more, but that's what I always keep in here. These are just like a lot of my holy grail products. And then lastly, we have like all of my eye makeup products, brow pencils, mascaras, and eyeshadow palettes. For eyeshadow, like this is one of my most used palettes of the year. It clearly looks like it too. The Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. I can get the Lemonade palette. I keep seeing it at Sephora, but I swatched it and it didn't swatch beautifully, so I was a little hesitant to get it like right then and there. I will probably end up getting it by the end of the year, but basically the Latte palette is one of my holy grails of all time. Love this shade so much. I use this for like my go-to everyday look all the time, and I just go through these 3 shades. They're some of my favorite lid colors, and that's part of why I love this palette, and I love the matte shades in here too. The Norvina palette I use a ton as well. This is a gorgeous palette. I don't think I'm gonna actually get the new Anastasia palette, the Sultry palette, because I like this. I already know that I like this better just from the shades. I feel like the shades in there have like a lot more cool tone mattes that I'm not interested in. And then this has like all of the lid colors that I really, really like. This palette I'm probably actually gonna move into my regular eyeshadow palette drawer because it's like the size of a pizza. This is the Urban Decay Elements palette. I did a review of this. I swatched all the shades. It's a gorgeous palette. It's so big though, so it's a little bit big for this drawer, but it is a beautiful palette. I really enjoy the formula. I have a more compact palette, or a couple more compact palettes right here. This is the Goddess Glow from Estee Lauder. I just did a video with Estee Lauder. I showed you guys all the swatches of this palette just released for fall at Ulta. And this is the Zodiac palette. I need to use this more because there's some pretty shades that would look gorgeous for fall. I just saw like Kathleen did a tutorial with this shade all over her eyes and like some of the purple shades. I thought that was like really pretty, so I probably want to recreate that. Like this shade is so pretty and I haven't played with it as much. I mostly use Cancer and the Leo, so I definitely need to get back to using this palette more because it has a lot of tones that I want to be wearing for fall. And then this is the palette that I got in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. I haven't even been able to wear it yet because there's just been so many releases that this gets like pushed on the back burner. But this is like a very pretty palette. I have swatched it and it does swatch really nicely. It has like a ton of very pretty fall colors. It just looks like a fall palette basically, so definitely need to play with this one a bit more. And then I also have one of the ColourPop Jelly Much Shadows. This one is in the shade Once and Floral. This is just like a cranberry color. It's a cream shadow. It's very liquidy when you see the actual color. It's very, very pigmented, and then it actually does dry down and it doesn't crease up. You just need to, I like to apply it with just like a regular flat brush. It applies really nicely. So that's the only one I have of those. And then here I have like my Brow Products mascara. I have a ton of the Benefit brow pencils. Goof Proof in the shade 5 is my go-to for every single day. I just got this one from ColourPop and I've been wearing it for a couple days now. This is the ColourPop Brow Boss liner, and this is basically just like a regular, like kind of like the Brow Wiz or anything else like that. Really liking this so far, so I've been reaching for this. I kind of like the Goof Proof because it's thicker compared to like these, but I do like the formula of this one a lot so far. And then these are all my go-to brow gels. I have one from Maybelline that I really like, their Brow Precise. This is a really old one from L'Oreal, the Gimme Brow from Benefit, and then this is my holy grail brow product of all time. This is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set. If you have not tried out this brow gel and you want to get a new brow gel, this is the one. Like, this is better than anything else that I have in my collection for sure. I love it. And then I have this little baby concealer pen from Nude Sticks. This is just like their regular cream concealer. I use it to clean up my brows every single day. I've had this for like 2 years and it's still going strong, and I'm definitely gonna repurchase it because it's so creamy and pigmented. I just love it. And then mascaras, I have a ton open right now that I probably need to get rid of, but you guys know I love the Benefit Roller Lash. This is like the only thing that I use underneath my falsies because it gives me a lot of length without volume, and I don't like to have volume in my natural lashes when I apply falsies. This is what I got in my Glam Bag Plus from Ipsy. Still trying this out. The Superfan from Smashbox. I don't even know how I feel about this. I've had it for a while. Excessive Lash from Makeup Forever. Holy Grail for bottom lashes. I actually need to get a new one because I'm pretty sure this one is gross. I haven't used it in a couple weeks. And this is the Monsieur Big from Lancome. This is my Holy Grail for extra volume. Love it so much. I've gone through a couple tubes of this. And then I have one that I need to test out once I like get rid of some of these. This is a new one from Revlon. It's called their Volume Amaze mascara. I haven't obviously tried it out yet. It's still all packaged up. And then for eyeliner, I love my Urban Decay liners. And then Stila in the shade Lionfish is like my holy grail eyeliner of all time. This was one of my first ever high-end makeup products I had in my life. I've purchased a bunch of these over the years. Really, really love this in this specific shade to wear like on an everyday basis because it has a little bit of a shimmer to it, and that way it keeps your eyes open and doesn't like close them up. And then I like to use the metallic shadow sticks from Girlactic. The shade Cashmere is my holy grail for eyeliner as well. This one's a little bit lighter. Love using that as eyeliner. You guys can see it's like super, super creamy and pigmented and a little bit more of a neutral tone. So that's usually what I have on my waterline. Probably 90% of the time, and the other 10% of the time I have the steel one on my waterline. Oh, and then this mascara, I got this in an Ipsy like a month or two ago from MAC. I actually love this for bottom lashes too. I've been wearing this a lot. All right, so that is everything for that drawer, and that is everything that I keep in my glam box. I do switch it out occasionally, but basically these are most of my like holy grail products in my collection, especially like my mascaras, brow pencils. I never switch those out really. And then if I find like a new blush or highlighter or contour palette, I will switch it out and just add it to here. So basically throughout the month, I'm really just reaching for the products in here and my everyday makeup drawer, and then occasionally I'll go through the rest of my collection, but really that's where like I'm using all of my day-to-day makeup from. So yeah, that is everything for my vanity tour. I really wanted to show you guys what's in my glam box and just like my current favorites and like some of my holy grail products, because I never really show this part of my makeup collection, but it's the part that has like a lot of my favorites. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. I will link my glam box and just like all the random things that I mentioned that are on my vanity in my description box. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.